Things you didn't know about Queen Elise XI.
First and foremost, Elizabeth LL was born at 2:40 GMT on April 21, 1926, was Queen of the United Kingdom and the other Commonwealth realms from February 6, 1952 until her death in 2022. She was Queen Regnant of 32 sovereign states during her life and served as monarch of 15 of them at the time of her death. Her reign of 70 years and 214 days is the longest of any British monarch and the longest recorded of any female head of state in history. Elizabeth was born in Mayfair, London, as the first child of the Duke and Duchess of York, later King George VI and Queen Elizabeth.
Her father acceded to the throne in 1936 upon the abdication
of his brother when her father died in February 1952. Elizabeth, then 25 years old, became Queen of 7 independent Commonwealth countries: the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, Pakistan, and Ceylon, known today as Sri Lanka, as well as head of the Commonwealth. Elizabeth reigned as a constitutional monarch through major political changes such as the Troubles in Northern Ireland, devolution in the United Kingdom, the decolonization of Africa, and the United Kingdom's accession to the European Communities and withdrawal from the European Union. The number of her realms varied over time as territories gained independence,
and some realms became republics.
Her many historic visits and meetings include state visits to China in 1986, Russia in 1994, and the Republic of Ireland in 2011,
and visits with 5 popes. Elizabeth's only sibling, Princess Margaret, was born in 1930.
The 2 princesses were educated at home under the supervision of their
mother and their governess, Marion Crawford.
Lessons concentrated on history, language, literature, and music.
Crawford published a biography of Elizabeth and Margaret's childhood years entitled The Little Princesses in 1950, much to the dismay of the royal family.
The book describes Elizabeth's love of horses and dogs, her
orderliness, and her attitude of responsibility. Others echoed such observations. Winston Churchill described Elizabeth when she was 2 as a character. She has an air of authority and reflectiveness astonishing in an infant.
Her cousin Margaret Rhodes described her as a jolly little girl, but fundamentally sensible and well-behaved. In September 1939, Britain entered the Second World War. Lord Hailsham suggested that Princesses Elizabeth and Margaret should be evacuated to Canada
to avoid the frequent aerial bombings of London by the Luftwaffe.
This was rejected by their mother, who declared, "The children won't go without me.
I won't leave without the king, and the king will never leave."
The princesses stayed at Balmoral Castle, Scotland, until Christmas 193. In 1943, Elizabeth undertook her first solo public appearance on a visit to the Grenadier Guards, of which she had been appointed colonel the previous year. 30, as she approached her 18th birthday, Parliament changed the law so she could act as one of 5 councillors of state in the event of her father's incapacity or absence abroad.
Elizabeth met her future husband,
Prince Philip of Greece and Denmark, in 1934 and again in 1937. They were second cousins once removed through King Christian IX of Denmark and third cousins through
Queen Victoria.
After meeting for the 3rd time at the Royal Naval College in Dartmouth in July 1939, Elizabeth, though only 13 years old, said she fell in love with Philip, and they began to exchange letters.
She was 21 when their engagement was officially announced on July 9, 1947. Elizabeth, who opened the 1976 Summer Olympics
in Montreal, also opened the 2012 Summer Olympics and Paralympics in London, making her the first head of state to open 2 Olympic Games in 2 countries. For the London Olympics, she played herself in a short film as part of the opening ceremony, alongside Daniel Craig as James Bond. On April 4, 2013, she received an honorary BAFTA for her patronage of the film industry and was called the most memorable Bond girl yet at the award ceremony. Elizabeth surpassed her great-great-grandmother, Queen Victoria, to become the longest-lived British monarch on December 21, 2007, and the longest-reigning British monarch and longest-reigning Queen Regnant and female head of state in the world on September 9, 2015. She became the oldest current monarch after King Abdullah of Saudi Arabia died on 23 January 2015. She later became the longest-reigning current monarch and the longest-serving current head of state following the death of King Bhumibol of Thailand on October 13, 2016, and the oldest current head of state on the resignation of Robert Mugabe on 21 November 2017. On February 6, 2017, she became the first British monarch to commemorate a Sapphire Jubilee, and on November 20, she was the first British monarch to celebrate a platinum wedding anniversary. Philip had retired from his official duties as the Queen's consort in August 2017.
On September 8, 2022, Buckingham Palace announced that Elizabeth was under medical supervision at Balmoral Castle after doctors expressed concern. The statement read,
"Following further evaluation this morning, Elizabeth's doctors are concerned for Her Majesty's health and have recommended she remain under medical supervision.
The Queen remains comfortable and at Balmoral." Elizabeth's 4 children, along with her daughters-in-law and grandsons Prince William and Prince Harry, traveled to Balmoral. Her death was confirmed that evening at 18:30 BST, setting in motion Operation London Bridge and, because she died in Scotland, Operation Unicorn. Elizabeth's personal wealth was the subject of speculation for many years.
In 1971, Jock Colville, her former private secretary and a director of her bank, Coutts, estimated her wealth at £2 million, equivalent to about £30 million in 2021. In 1993, Buckingham Palace called estimates of £100 million grossly overstated. In 2002, she inherited an estate worth an estimated £70 million from her mother. The Sunday Times Rich List 2020 estimated her personal wealth at £350 million,
making her the 372nd richest person in the UK.
She was number 1 on the list when it began in the Sunday Times Rich List 1989, with a reported wealth of £5.2 billion,
which included state assets that were not hers personally, approximately £13.8 billion in today's value.
And that's it for this video. If you like what you see, give us likes and subscribe for our platform to grow.